Lesson 3.2 is called reference angles. A reference angle is the angle formed between the terminal ray and the x-axis. So it's always between the x-axis and then where that ray stops. So in this problem, it wanted you to create a 54-degree angle. You're going to take this yellow dot and move it until it says the degree that they want. I went ahead and took pictures of them so we didn't have to try to guess. What it creates is this triangle here. Okay, but what you need to know is 54 degrees is this angle inside of this triangle. It's also this arc measure here, if that helps you. But what we're trying to do is find the reference angle. Well, if the reference angle is from this terminal ray to the x-axis, in quadrant 1, it's just that angle. So our reference angle is also 54 degrees. Let's try another one, number 2. They wanted us to make a 99-degree angle. So remember, we're starting really from the x-axis. We're opening up here. But what that does is creates a triangle here in quadrant 2. And our x-axis is here. So we're wanting to know the angle from here to here, or this arc, if you will. So what I need to do is not figure out the 99. I actually need to take the x-axis, this 180, minus 99. Which tells me that this angle here is actually 81 degrees. So again, it's not from the beginning, the initial ray, it's always whatever x-axis it's close to in its quadrant. Number 3 is 225, so that puts us here, quadrant 3 this time. And so we've got to think about, okay, yeah, all the way around here, but now I just need this angle right here. So if this was 225 here, I'm going to take 225 minus the 180 to figure out just this little wedge here. It's a 45. Which makes sense because this would be 180 plus 45 is 225. But again, I just want the little wedge formed with the x-axis and its ending ray. And then the last one, I wanted to choose one from quadrant 4 so you could see that. So all the way around here gets me 321 degrees, but we just want to know this little wedge. So we're thinking that's the same as this. So if this is 321, we want to take 360 minus 321. Which is 39. So those are all called the reference angle. All right, and then the number 5 is kind of putting it together. You have problems where you have one angle to begin with, and then you got to figure out the reference angle, the common reference angle in each quadrant. So 257, I went ahead and put on here. It's right here. So that means all the way around is 257 degrees. First, what I want to do, though, is just figure out from the x-axis to this terminal ray, what is this? Because that'll give me the reference angle that then I want to use in each quadrant. So I would do my bigger angle here, my 257 minus the 180. And that's 77 degrees. So if this is 77, I want 77 degrees, so it's going to make like an X. Here, I want 77 degrees. Here. And here. But you have to figure out what are those angles in each quadrant. So whatever angle you had, the 257, whatever quadrant that's in, go ahead and put that there. Then I do quadrant 1, because once I find the reference angle, quadrant 1 is always just that reference angle. Quadrant 2, this is going to be 77 degrees less than 180, so I would do 180 minus 77, which would be 103, which makes sense because 103 lies between 90 and 180, right? So this is 77. 103, we already said this is 257. And then this needs to be 77 degrees less than 360. So do 360 minus 77, which is 283. Which makes sense because 283 degrees is in quadrant 4. So again, figure out where your first angle is that they're giving you, quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. That angle goes in that quadrant, but then use it to find the reference angle, and then find out, using that reference angle, are you going to just have that angle in quadrant 1? You're going to take 180 minus that reference angle to find quadrant 2. You're going to take that 180 plus your reference angle for quadrant 3. Quadrant 4 is going to be 360 minus the reference angle in quadrant 4.